There's a big battle going over these two, conception and being immaculate, being pure. In some ways, let's start with 1846, when the U.S. bishops gathered together in Baltimore for the Sixth Council and made a declaration that the patroness of the United States of America is the Immaculate Conception. She wasn't yet declared a dogma, but it was the next year the Pope, Pius IX, agreed that and said, yes, the patroness of the United States of America is the Immaculate Conception. Perhaps because of that inspiration, 7 years later, in 1854, the same Pope declared a universal dogma that Mary was conceived without original sin, the Immaculate Conception. And what confirmed it by the Holy Spirit 4 years later, actually about a little more than 3 years later, on March 25th, 1858. Of course, March 25th is the Immaculate Conception of Jesus in the womb of Mary, what we just read, the Annunciation. And it was on that day that our Blessed Mother Mary appeared in Lourdes, France, to an illiterate 14-year-old who really couldn't read, said, "I am the Immaculate Conception." And she said this to the priest, not knowing what she was saying, and he was absolutely amazed. How can this illiterate girl know that our Blessed Mother was just declared 4 years ago as the Immaculate Conception? What's interesting is 3 years later, in 1861, the United States of America begins the bloodiest war that this land has ever known on this land, the Civil War. And there's a new civil war that's happening now, and it's over conception, and it's over immaculate. So it was in 1960 that was introduced the artificial contraceptive pill, which in many cases acts as an abortifacient, that immediately once conception happens, it rejects and abortifates the baby. And after that came 1973, when it was legalized abortion, that you can abort the baby. That conception is now more of rather make it very confused. And that's exactly what the snake did to Eve, is try to confuse Eve. You can become like God. And Mary and of course, Mary is the one who overcomes Eve.